conversation between Gautam and Mahavir. Now we are going to discuss about heaven and hell. Gautam asked the Lord Mahavira, O compassionate one, which activities result in birth in hell? Mahavir said, O Gautam, one who performs activities involving violence, who speaks lies, who steals things, who indulges in amazing wealth discriminately, who gets angry, who is egoistic, who is impudent, who is deceitful, cruel, sinful, gossip, who is very greedy, who wrongly accuses good persons, is irreligious, who speaks incoherent and inconsistent speech, ungrateful, and whose intellect is perverse, becomes very miserable and pathetic and is ultimately born in hell. Gautam said, O Mahavir, please let me know which activities result in birth in heaven. Mahavir said, Gautam, one who is inclined towards austerities, self-control and donation or renunciation, who is candid and compassionate, who has firm faith in the words of a spiritual teacher, and who strives for right knowledge, right faith, and right conduct, is reborn after death in the heavenly world. Now the second question was asked that Gautam asked to Lord Mahavira, O Venerable One, what makes a soul heavy with the weight of karmic particles? Mahavir replied, O Gautam, the following 18 sinful acts, because karmic particles stick to the soul and consequently the soul becomes heavy. Pranatipat, the first sinful act, is to deprive living beings of their lives. Mrishavad, second is to speak lie. Adattadan is to steal. Methun, the inauspicious karmic aggregate bound to the soul through non-continence. Parigraha, the fifth is to be possessive. Krodh, the sixth is to get angry easily. Man, the seventh is to be egoistic. Maya, the eighth is to deceive others. Lobh, the ninth is to have uncontrolled greed. Rag, the 10th is to have attachment to material things. Dvesh, the 11th is to be averse to. Kalha, the 12th is to be quarrelsome. Abhyakhan, the 13th is to make false allegations. Paishunya, the 14th is to indulge in gossip. Parparivat, the 15th is to have fickle disposition. Rati Arati is the 16th one. It means to indulge in false accusation. And the 17th one is Maya Mrisha, is to tell malicious lies. Mithya Darshan Salya is to entertain false faith. Now Gautam asked again the question, what makes the soul light, or how can the karmic particles be shed? Mahavira replied, by renouncing the above 18 sinful acts, soul sheds the karmic particles and thus become light. The soul which does not renounce the 18 sinful acts strengthens its attachment to worldly objects and prolongs its wandering in its transmigratory existence. The soul remains, which renounces the sinful acts, loosens its attachment to worldly objects, shortens its journey by crossing over the ocean of transmigratory existence. Now, the curiousness of Gautam was increasing. Again, he was asking the question to the Lord Mahavira, and now he asks, O compassionate one, what causes the soul to take its next birth in the animal world? He replied, that man who befriends another person for selfish motives and then abandons him after his purpose is served, who causes misery to his friend, speaks ill of his friend, and who is not candid with his friend, and who is cruel and deceitful, is reborn in the next life as an animal. Now Gautam asked, what causes the soul to take its next birth as a human? Lord Mahavira replied that man who is frank and humble, whose passions like anger, etc., are mild, who helps the needy, unbiased or impartial, who is just and equitable, who praises and appreciates the meritorious qualities of good man or spiritual ascetics, who has limited his possessions to his needs and is contented, and who is devoted to the perfected souls and spiritual teachers, is reborn as a human being. Now, Gautam asked the question, what is the result of self control, which is nothing but renunciation of sinful activity? Mahavira said, O Gautam, self control stops the inflow of inauspicious karmic matter into a soul. Now, Gautam asked the question, O Venerable One, what happens when the inflow of inauspicious karmic matter into the soul is stopped? Gautam asked the question, O Mahavira, what happens when the inflow of inauspicious karmic matter into the soul is stopped? Mahavira replied, when the inflow of inauspicious karmic matter into the soul is stopped, the soul gets eager to practice austerities. Now, the question was, what is the consequence of practicing austerities? Mahavira said, O Gautam, practice of austerities removes the defiling karmic matter from the soul. Gautam asked, what is the result of the removal of the defiling karmic matter from the soul? Mahavira replied, O Gautam, on account of the shedding of the defiling karmic matter from the soul, the mental, vocal, and bodily activities of the soul gradually come to an end. And when all the activities are totally demonized, the soul becomes totally free from all karmic matter and all activities. Now Gautam asks, O Venerable One, what is that soul called which has become totally free from all karmic particles and all karmic matters and all activities? Mahavira said, O Gautam, the soul is called Siddha. Om Arham.